that, come on in. We are going to do a step-by-step tutorial on how to stuff a base with mesh. So this is a 24-inch evergreen wreath base. So this is just a plain evergreen base. So we're going to start with that. The first thing that we're going to do is take our tags off, and then we're just going to fluff this out. So a lot of people ask, how many do you get? Because they're only available at Hobby Lobby during Christmas time, and usually I just base it off of what I sold the year before and what goals I have for the upcoming year. So hopefully that helps you. But what I'm going to do is I'm just opening these up because they've been in a box for a long time, you know, shipping and all the things. So I'm just going to fluff these out. You can obviously see like this little section here, how they're all laid down and how they're just fluffed out. The reason I do this is just to be able to find the ties a little easier, because those are what is going to hold our mesh in, right? I use different color meshes together. I usually base it off of whatever project I'm going to do. So I didn't have a specific project for this one. So I'm just going to do like it every day. So I could add black and white to it, or any other color, or burlaps and greens are very popular. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to use a 21-inch green, and then a 10-inch burlap with a thin little cream in it. And then I'm going to use this one that has a different stripage in it, still burlap. So I'm going to use 3 colors. You can use as many colors as you want. I cut these about 24 inches, so I'm just going to stretch it out and cut it. I'm going to go ahead and start with about 8 pieces of each one. I like to cut them, start with about 8, and then if I need to cut more, because I don't like little extra pieces lounging around. So I'm just going to start about 24 inches, about 8 pieces. So we're going to do these about 24 inches. Let's do 8 as well. All right, and then going in with this a little bit wider banded one. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the 21-inch mesh. So I call this the butt method. You heard it right, little booty cheeks, little booty method. So what you want to do is let your ends, because all mesh is going to fray, we're just trying to prevent it a little bit. So I'm going to let my 2 ends naturally roll in to meet, okay? Just like that, roll in just like that. And then I'm going to grab it, and then I'm going to kind of give it kind of like a little pinch right here. Kind of looks like a piece of candy. And then I'm going to half it, just like that. Half it to where these are about the same here. And now you have 2 little juicy booty cheeks. Your booty cheeks are always going to go through towards the center of the wreath base. And then you're going to place it in on the outer ring first, using the 2 closest ties and twisting it, just like Coach Tammy says, mesh to metal, because it's a metal base. We'll do that a couple of times together, so don't fret. Now we're going to do a cruffle with this size, about the 10-inch. So you just let the ends curl in, and you just cruffle it till your hands meet, and it makes a little bow tie pasta, a little bow tie. And then we're going to place it right in next to this one. Outside ring as well, 2 of the closest ties, and then placing it in, making sure your mesh goes all the way down to the bottom, and twist it a couple of times. I do like to fluff it out as I go. Between the left hand and the right hand, about that space is probably about 5 inches to place your inserts at, okay? Placing it in, mesh all the way to metal, and just doing a little fluffing. So let's do a pattern. We're going to do the butt method, the wider stripe, and the tighter stripe, or closer stripe. It sounded like I said tiger. Butt method, letting these naturally roll in, grabbing it like this, halving it, and having a little juicy, and then placing it in. This is the standard way that I do all my mesh bases. I love using multiple colors. Sometimes it's only 2, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5 colors. Today we're using 3 colors. Roll in, crunchy, crunchy, just like that, okay? Now we're going around the whole outside ring of this. If you only had a single ring, then you'd only do the one ring stuffing it in. But this is a double ring work form, evergreen work form. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. And you can see like this, where the ends of the evergreen are, right about here, how it elongates it out and makes it grow as well. So you can really see it right here where this ends, how much further. Going in the pattern, keeping the pattern. Sometimes I like to stuff bases, especially during crazy holiday seasons while I'm sitting there watching my favorite shows or watching somebody live on, you know, my tablet or whatever else. So I do like to have them ahead of time. Maybe you are very organized and you can plan out your projects and have those all ready and have your base stuffed. Because my favorite part of designing is like the stuffing part and putting all the goodies in it. So the bases, I love when I can have bases ready for projects. Now sometimes you end up, depending on what you do, having a little extra space, and instead of trying to stretch out your mesh but so much and make a meet, because you don't want to lose your foundation, so you don't want to stretch it out too much, we could still just add an extra piece of mesh right there. So let's just take one of the extra straight pieces and just make it extra thick in that area. Not going to hurt anybody. Instead of trying to take that one piece, I would rather have extra security than in the foundation by adding a piece than trying to make a piece stretch. So here's our outside ring, everybody. This is our outside ring. And then as you can see, this inside ring is what we're going to work on next. We built this out. It's nice and bouncy. You can like part the C's and see where all these ties are still exposed in this little area. We could still use that for stuffing, all the things. So now we're going to work on the inside area. Y'all, if you're new here and you don't know about creative coaching, we'd love to have y'all join us. We go over steps like this, step by step, from tons of different coaches, 6 days a week. So we'd love for you to click that link and join us in creative coaching. Now for this inside ring, see where this green is here and this green is here? I'm going to start with this green right in between them because I don't want them to layer up. I want them to kind of break up all the things. So I don't need them to be right on top of each other, but I do need them to just kind of work together in harmony. And this time, let's start with a little bit of the thinner one. On the outside ring, we did green, thick, thin, green, thick, thin. We're going to go green, thin lines, then the thick lines. Just switching it up, never hurt nobody a little bit. Alrighty. Looks like we cut extra pieces, of course. That dark green is so beautiful. This base really could be used with a cream pumpkin for fall, every day. Could be used for many things, y'all. Alright guys, looks like we have 2 extra pieces plus 1 because I dropped 1. We had 13 on the outside and 9 on the inside. Y'all, nice and fluffy. You can still see the evergreen poking out. Y'all, if you're worried about using florals and greenery with the evergreen poking out, not for Christmas, definitely join us for more step-by-step tutorials in the creative coaching, because that's where we'll be stuffing all the goodies in our mesh bases. But I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you try this out, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.